Mikado just released an update for the VControl transmitter to make setting up the new VBar Micro S.BUS Receiver with an OFS3 based helicopter very straightforward. This update gives you a simple one-click installation method, so you no longer need to download and copy files to your transmitter using a computer. In this short video, we'll quickly go through the simple process of setting this up on an OMPHOBBY M2 V3 Pro. This process is identical for the M1 V3 Pro and the M2 V3 Sport as well. Before doing anything else, make sure you've removed the main and tail blades from the model for safety. And then first, you need to prepare the OFS3 flight controller by setting the S.BUS range to Futaba and enabling the VBar control telemetry option in the app. So we'll power it up and connect to the app. Wait for the settings to load. And then scroll down to the bottom into receiver and telemetry. Scroll down and on S.BUS, make sure it's set to Futaba here and make sure you've enabled the VBar control telemetry. Hit save. And that part is done. Next, if you haven't already, you'll just unplug this. We're going to run the update for the VControl. Make sure you're connected to your Wi-Fi. Open the menu. In transmitter setup, scroll down to app updater. It'll do a few checks, and then once that's done, click the start update button. If it needs to download an update, it will download and apply that for you and just take a minute or two. If there's nothing to do, then it'll just quickly finish and say update finished, which means we're bang up to date. The final requirement here is to make sure you already have the MacroCell app installed and loaded on your VControl transmitter. To check this, power on your transmitter, and in this transmitter setup menu, click the shop icon there, and then under setup you're looking for Neo Evo macro cells, and it should be installed and active, have the X in there. If this is all correct, that's all good to go, and we're ready to apply the brand new model preset. Connect the battery to power on the model. And first thing to do is to bind to the transmitter. We will get a little flashing light, red and green down here when it's in bind mode. Click the little link icon and bind up to that. Get rid of all of that. Now to run through the new setup, go to model setup and then click new model setup. On the new menu here, click other brands, and then under this S.BUS you've got OMP V3 OFS3 and click select. There's a screen of information about what this brings as a predefined model. Scroll down, read through and click load setup now when ready. That will transfer the data over, apply the model settings, apply the macro cell settings. Only takes a minute and we'll be done. When it finishes the setup, you are now good to go and fly the model. It's completely done. You don't need to change anything else in the radio. All of the settings have been applied for you. If you want to change any of the flight settings from the defaults, such as your flip and roll rates, rudder speed or RPMs, etc., you just make those changes in the OMPHOBBY app. With software throttle enabled in the app, you can also choose the RPMs that your 3 flight banks will use, so no need to go into the macro cells on the transmitter at all. If you make any changes in the app to your settings, just remember to click save to apply them.